also went to slightly outside of Melbourne, the Swinburne University. It is also a university building with lecture rooms and classrooms. What is interesting here, the Australians seem to have a fascination with round openings or irregular openings or spots. We saw that everywhere, and these spots are very random in the building. You can see it here. And on the ground floor they have the admin, so you can see directly into it, and the workshops. In the workshops they have a floor slab of 1.5 meter thick concrete because they test materials there. So it's they have a commitment to the street. The building is divided into two, and there are interesting links. Here we look at the links, so you see the rest of the city, and these square, the round openings make for very interesting views of the city. On the ground floor, they have the major spaces where people meet, like this lecture hall, which is surrounded on 3 sides with glass. Here we have a look at and then this is the laboratory where they test materials on street level. Fancy machines here, also on ground floor, and then again the use of atriums to suck out air, the stack effect. That is a general principle. Here you can see the same type of turbines to abstract the air from the building. Looking down at one of the stairwells that is also used. And then the interesting effects of the round windows. It's very concentrated views. Some are red, those that can open are all red. And sometimes you run into trouble because you can fall out, but then I put these balustrades in front to prevent you from falling out. They also demolished the building that was on the site, and they reused the bricks, so that was more Green Star points for the reuse of materials. Then we went to Sydney. I don't know what the rating of this building is. It's an international grammar school. But again, the fascination with irregular openings, interesting use of cross ventilation and so on. Photovoltaic supply power, all the water is collected and reused and so on. And there's a new regulation in Sydney that they must put the name of the architect on the building. Isn't that wonderful? You must please do the same in your term. I think it's a wonderful tradition. So you see here who's designed the building, and here you see the International Grammar School. It's, the way they constructed this is fascinating, but I won't go into that. It's double layered glass and well, prefabricated, and here you see a little girl looking out. I think it's a very stimulating environment for children. On the ground floor there are no glass, is naturally ventilated. It's a play space for the children, and then when you go upstairs it's glazed. A very difficult glazing system to get it in these prefabricated concrete frames, which is the story on its own. The main rooms are also double glazing, and you can open them. The main rooms are a little bit disappointing, but the views are so amazing because you have all these strange shapes and you see Sydney through irregular frame windows. Then we looked at a building restoration project that got a 5-star green rating. They improved the lighting, bicycle storage, large windows, open plan, conditioning, and so on. You know the whole controversy about the Opera House extensions, but if you see what they've done here, I don't know what the furore would be. We will zoom in onto the building. That is the building, and look at the entrance canopy. So it's again the principle of what is new, what is old is old. In my opinion, they went a little bit too far in that the interior is completely remodeled, and there's very little of the old left. This is part of the ramp up to the entrance, and here you have on the one side that ramp leads to a restaurant, and on the other side it leads to offices. We couldn't get permission to enter the offices, but it's completely remodeled. There's no hint here of what the building was before. It's just strange, it's a wedding cake that was exhibited here. Then we went to 1 Blythe Street, one of the most spectacular buildings that we've seen. It got 6 stars, awarded 5 innovation points. In addition to your Green Star points, that counts out of 100, you can get innovation points. And it's very difficult to score an innovation point, and they scored 5. You can get a maximum of 5 innovation points, and they got all 5. They have a triple scheme. They have a scheme, and then a 600mm gap, and then a double scheme. The building cost 80,000 rand per square meter to build. It's an office building in the CBD of Sydney, with a spectacular building, and they use all kinds of effects, but I think I'll rather show you the building than read through this. It's a circular building with a large atrium, but the plan is very clever. So you are surrounded with passive things in that light all around you. On ground floor they have a creche. Isn't that the interesting principle? Here you see the plan, so you can see that the office space is very clever. It is all facing north, a big atrium, and the service is on the southern side. So the exposure to light is on the exterior skin and then through the atrium. And then on a certain level, the building, only part of the building goes on, and you have an amazing roof garden that is protected by 5 or 7 meter high glass. So on the top of the building you can have amazing parties and views, of course. A section through the building, or a diagram. This is how the building sits in the environment. What's interesting, they use low eye glass. Low eye glass is very expensive glass. That is where they have taken the iron out of glass. And they've done that to make the building completely transparent. The building doesn't have that green tint. You can see through it. And they have to were one of the first people to use low eye glass. At the bottom here, there's a stainless steel screen, and that protects the creche. This is the creche, but the main entrance is around the corner here. This leads up to the door of the creche, which is locked. We couldn't get in, but we went up the stairs and we could look down at the play space of the creche. It's an interesting idea that in the middle of a city you have a creche on ground floor, but it's so well done, protected by the stainless steel screen, so that it's no ventilation and it's safe and so on. And this is what the screen looks like. Here we're starting to go up to the main foyer. And what is interesting on this floor is the windows. You can see here they can concertina up. They can close up the whole ground floor. No glass. Here you see some of the windows are open. So the building merges beautifully with the city around it. People are having something to eat here, so the inside-outside is very blurred on ground floor level. And then they have a spectacular foyer with these fast-traveling lifts, and you can see in a glass roof how that brings in light into the heart of the building. It's really a spectacular foyer and very fast-traveling lifts. You can see not a very special camera that I used, and the light level is very high. And you have amazing views here of the harbour bridge, and you can see here the double skin and the third skin and screens to protect you that goes down automatically should there be too much sun. And then you can of course walk here to clean the windows, and everywhere you have this amazing views. We are now on, I think it's floor 15, where you go outside and you can onto the deck and you are protected from the wind, and you can have parties. I think quite amazing parties. They also use black water and solar panels, but it's very architecturally done. The building is not the tallest one in the city, so you look down onto the roof of the building, and here you can see the solar panels, and this is the glass roof of the foyer, and this is the big outside entertainment space. But they really thought about the fifth elevation of the roof very well. And then we saw Jean Nouvel. This is not rated, it's a luxury apartment. It was interesting for two reasons. The building has mirrors on the lower building which reflect the sun up to a mirror here that reflects the sun back into the space here where the pool is. I think it's only Jean Nouvel that can come up with an idea like this. And a closer look at the model. We could buy units there, not that we could afford it. And this is the effect that this screen would have to project the sunlight back into the space between the buildings.